Shalom. First, I want to say, call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rachak Wadash, the abundance to the elder apostles, a great millstone who rule well and who have taught us knowledge. Honors and salutations to you, fellow laborers, doing the work week in and week out. Shalom to you, and shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. This the brother Hardab come back at you with another lesson. And, it was on my spirit to do this video because this is something that's taking place as I speak. And, it's been an ongoing thing, and as far as the closing of stores, and these are just one of the signs that this place is going down. Truly, because we see a number of things within Esau society that's collapsing, and uh, one of the things is the jobs. The jobs are dwindling, and the grinders are getting very few. And this year can see the grinding come down a lot more because we know since the last few years, with the pandemic, that a lot of jobs have been lost. And so a lot of those jobs didn't open back up. Some of them permanently closed still to this very day. Job growth is low. And you wouldn't know it because they lied to the people, the politicians, your leaders from the presidents on down to your, mayors and governors and senators and all those political public offices. They lied to the people, and we report the truth unto the people, especially our people, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites of the Bible. We the Lord's chosen people, and you especially is going to be affected because we're the majority when it comes down to population. We're the biggest nation on this earth, and we make up the vast majority of the population over here in Babylon. All right, so. And this is about the jobs within Babylon, which is so-called America. So this is from Insider. It's businessinsider.com, and this is a very popular economic insight platform. As far as Business Insider, you see representatives on different talk shows when it involves the economy. So they're pretty popular. It says the title is Walmart is closing a batch of stores in 2023. Here's the full list. April 11th, 2023. That's the other day, right? So it was Tuesday, I believe. It says in another article, it's more stores, right? So it says Walmart will close 20 stores in 11 states and DC. 4 Chicago stores are among the latest to join the list. The company is also winding down its 2 remaining pickup locations in Illinois and Arkansas. Hundreds of workers will also be laid off at 5 e-commerce fulfillment centers across the U.S. So a lot of things happening within Walmart, right? It gives more in the article. I'm gonna read it right here. It says Walmart is closing 20 retail locations across the U.S. this year, including 4 in Chicago, citing poor financial performance at each. So they're not making money. All right. And remember, Esau's about his money. What was one of his blessings that he would enjoy the fatness of the earth? Genesis 27, about the 39th verse, 40th verse, right? Isaac said he would enjoy the fatness of the earth, which are the riches. All right, the resources which he gathered, which he really steals them, all right? But it translates into riches. It says the recent closures follow a trend of Walmart closing a handful of stores across various states each year, with the company saying that the stores are underperforming without providing specifics. In which we know the real thing behind it. The elites closing things down. Everything is closing down because everything is going to be geared to putting the commoners, which are the average everyday Joe six pack citizen in America, in a desperate situation to depend on the government. All right, especially when it comes down to the financial system crashing. And what's the next thing? The CHIP, the RFID CHIP, the ultimate goal, right? And that will be made mandatory. All right. It says, in addition, the retail giant is ending its 9-year experiment with 2 pickup only locations in Illinois and Arkansas, and confirmed it would lay off hundreds of workers at 5 e-commerce fulfillment centers across the U.S. All right, it gives locations, of course, Arkansas, D.C., Georgia, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, New Mexico, Oregon, Texas, Washington, Wisconsin. You know, and then you go over to the other. Let me go to the other article. Right, it says uh, Insider. Uh, it says more than 1,400 stores are closing across the U.S. in 2023. Here's the full list, and this is another article from Business Insider. .com. This is dated March 24th. All right, a couple weeks back, March 4th, 2023. Says more than a dozen major retailers have said they will close at least 1,417 U.S. stores in 2023. It gives a list of Amazon, Bath and Body Works, Walmart, and Foot Locker are among the chains shutting down. Shutting down stores. Bed Bath & Beyond is planning to close down 416 locations, the second most of any retailers on the list. So, as you can see, let me see. As you can see, these stores are closing down, man. They're closing down. They're underperforming. Not producing profits as they once were, and so again, they're closing down. It says it's not exactly the retail apocalypse of prior years, but it's a shape up nonetheless. Oh, that's what you call it. For over 1,400 stores, that's a lot of jobs being lost. You know, only one that has common sense would realize that, right? 1,417 stores closing, that's a lot of jobs being lost. And you do the math on how many employees they have for each shift. An insider tally of announcements by major retailers in 2023 finds at least 1,417 stores set to close across the U.S. The rationales are varied. Some companies are navigating bankruptcy proceedings, while others say they are aiming to cut costs. Several are adjusting store formats to meet changing shopping trends, which the main thing is losing money. If you file for bankruptcy, that's when you losing money, cutting costs because you losing too much money. So you're trying to get rid of unnecessary weight to slow down the bleeding, so to speak, from you losing too much money. Okay. Leading the list is Foot Locker, which is shuttering 545 stores across 2 brands by 2026, followed by Bed Bath & Beyond, which is set to close 416 stores across 3 brands this year. That's a lot. Bed Bath & Beyond, and a lot of women shopping there, so that's. Hey, matter of fact, let me get that preset. It's about that time. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Yeah, because the evil days are approaching us. That's why the scriptures speak about us being circumspect, because evil is all around us and evil is increasing as the days, weeks, months go by. But if you're not being circumspect and looking all around you and seeing what's going on, yeah, you get caught up in the evil snare because you wasn't listening, you wasn't looking. All right, you wasn't keeping watch. All right, Ephesians 5:15. It's Let me start a little bit. Ephesians 5 and 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shai shall give thee light. Yeah, it's talking about the Israelites, but more importantly, the elect, because the elect is going to awake. Is it not written that the Lord care for his elect? And what's that? Wisdom of Solomon in the third chapter. The second and third chapter says he had to care for his elect. Let me get that real quick. Let me get that. The Lord said he had to care for his elect, because the elect is whom the Lord is going to come back and deliver. Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9. It says, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. Well, who understand the truth? The elect. We say the hopeful elect because we hope to be a part of elect. Those of us that labor in truth and sincerity, we do the work week in and week out. We care about doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We put our trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? It says, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. See? So there you go. All right, let's go back to Ephesians 5. All right, the Lord care about his elect. Ephesians 5 and 4. Wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shai shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Right, because when you go into being circumspect, right? Let me see, can I get the online etymology? You know, type in the word circumspect. Circumspect. There we go. Circumspect. Cautious, wary, literally looking about on all sides. Yeah. You know, I don't need to read no more. Literally looking about on all sides. Circle means what? Around. Spec means to look. All right. So, hey, I don't need to, you can't break that down no more. That's plain. See then that you walk circumspectly, looking all around you, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. If you got jobs closing down, all right, all across this country, that's them evil days for people. People losing their jobs. Someone ain't gonna be able to pay their rent. Someone ain't gonna have a place to stay. And there's already tens of millions of Americans that are homeless. What, 40, 50 million, somewhere in between there that are homeless, don't have a place to stay every night in America. Babylon the Great. Is that not evil? Evil means bad, right? That's a bad situation for those people, right? People looking for the next meal, can't get it, right? That's an evil time for that individual or those individuals that are going through that, right? So if you lose your job and you get the cold shoulders, then what? What happens when there's no jobs to apply for? What happens when there's, no one's hiring? All right. Because they can't afford to hire any more employees. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. So you got to be understanding what the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is, and that is to the will of the Lord is to destroy this place. So whether you like it or not, this place will be destroyed, man. All right, now where was I? I was at Ecclesiastes 12. Okay, let's go back there. Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Because you know why? When you go into the scriptures, right? When you go into the book of Zephaniah, was that Zephaniah, I'm gonna go down. Yeah, come. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 14, it says, "The great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry bitterly there. Sorry, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness." Because why? There's going to be a lot of chaos going on. And then ultimately, the Lord is going to rain those thermonuclear missiles on Babylon the Great, which is so called America. All right, same thing the prophet Amos said, right? He says, "Woe unto you who desire the day of the Lord," right? Amos 5 and 18, he says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." See? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. See, when the day of the Lord approaches, you will know. Jacob's time of trouble will be full on. The RFID C hip, the charagma will be forced upon the people. The ones that don't have faith that are among the Israelites, they will take it. All right. Verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion and the bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and the serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? See? So there you go, man. And that darkness is approaching, man. So you better be mindful of that. All right. Ecclesiastes, I'm at Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Who are the keepers of the house? Who was made to be keepers of the house? Well, the women were, right? Let me see. Keepers at home, right? Let's get that precept. Keepers at home. This is Titus 2. Verse 4, and the point is in verse 5. Well, I can read all three verses. Yeah, let's do that. So we see what it's pertaining to. It's pertaining to women. So here's this. Here it goes. It's Titus 2 and 3. It says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Heavenly Father be not blasphemed. So it was made for women to be keepers at home. So the women, all right, are the keepers, all right, of the house. So when it says that the keepers of the house shall tremble, now we understand who it's referring to, right? Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the women. Remember, it speaks about in the book of Isaiah, the eighth chapter, right? About the vintage failing and how the women are going to lament for the teats. Because they speak about the careless daughters of the nation of Israel, which are the women. So the women are going to tremble because why? A lot of them don't have no man, right? When food gets real scarce, you in these long lines to get only a bag of rice, maybe a pint of chicken broth, give you 4 or 5 potatoes, maybe an onion, maybe a bell pepper, right? Powdered milk, a little pack of raisins, and this is for a whole family. You know, that's a day that's going to be hell for you women, right? It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." See, the grinders are going to cease because they are few. Because you know why? That means that, well, that represents the workers, because the workers are becoming few in this place that you call America, which is Babylon the Great. All right, the workers are becoming few because you have a job. Don't mean anything. Look around you, all right, at other jobs that were open and they're not open no more. Look at the jobs that had a large staff. Excuse me. They had a large staff, and now the staff is cut down half or less than half. All right, they were, they was full, but now they're half or less than half of what they once were. All right, it says, verse 4, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low." See, there's no job to go to. All right, it says, "And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the darts of music shall be brought low." Yeah, things are, that mirthful spirit is leaving, man. Entertainment that people love to bask in, that spirit is leaving, man. That mirthful spirit is leaving this place. Have a few spots here and there that maybe having a good time, but man, things are getting very, very serious out here. Okay, main thing, grinding is getting low. All right, there won't be an alarm clock to get you up and go to work because there won't be a job for you. And if these stores are closing down, all right, like Walmart is a major chain of supermarkets. No, it's a major supermarket chain of stores, right? That's gonna cause that's gonna cause food shortage. See, that's gonna cause food shortage. Second Esdras in 6 and verse 22. "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall be suddenly found. Sorry, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." See, what's a sign of them being empty? They're closing down. Those shelves will be an empty, vacant shelves, and the store vacant. No people entering in and going out. All right, that's what we're watching. That's what we're observing. That's what we see with our very own eyes, and this is happening more and more. All right, and Jake is talking about this. This is talking about this is being talked about among Jake. Jake doesn't even know the truth, but they're talking about these type of things. Matter of fact, earlier just a couple hours ago, right? I went over to give I got a newborn nephew, right? So I went over there while I'm here in town for the moment, and I can get back on the road. So I took my nephew some Pampers and shit, right? And my so-called brother-in-law and his friend was talking about the charagma, and it was talking about how you gonna need to get that. And I didn't, need I mind you, I did not spark up this conversation. I did not spark up this conversation at all. I'm sitting there. I brought my nephew some things. I was cutting my so-called brother-in-law's hair, and his homeboy came in. They started talking about the charagma out of nowhere, and they was like, "You gonna have to get that charagma." They didn't say charagma. They said the RFID. So you gotta get that RFID to get your food, man. If you don't got that RFID, you ain't no food. Well, what happens when there's no food to get, even though if you got the RFID C-HIP, which is the charagma, you know? What happens when the storehouses don't have any food left? See? So this is what this world is coming to. The scriptures speak about how men going to invade one another because of lack of bread. So this all befitting. Walmart's closing down. Of course, the other shopping stores going to close down, but Walmart alone is a big deal, right? Let me go to another precept real quick in 2nd Ezra 15, about the 18th verse. Con. You got a lack of food, right? A lack of food lead to desperation. People gonna be desperate out here. Men gonna be desperate. So how much more the women and children, which are usually spoils of war or just casualties of chaos that's going on. When tyranny breaks out, when all hell breaks loose, women and children are just casualties, man. Casualties of war, whether it's a civil war or all-out war, what have you, right? 2nd Ezra 15 and 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Men gonna be afraid. We know women ain't built strong, but if men are gonna be afraid, women are gonna be terrified. They're gonna be terrified. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword because, it says, a man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Yeah, because they're gonna want to invade another man to find his food. He's hungry, right? And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, lack of food, right? And for great tribulation, they're catching hell. See, Jacob's time of trouble speaks about men being afraid. Grown men. See, so when there's a lack of bread, which is the lack of food, you women don't stand a chance. Big, strong men gonna be fighting and killing each other. Where's your place in that? You don't have a place. Your best bet is to try to hope that a big, strong man that's able to, survive in that day, all right, choose you to take care of during that time. And remember, the scriptures say that says that knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. But if a man don't have knowledge and wisdom, all right, to be stable in the times that we're coming into, he's really of no use anyway. See, men of the Lord, we're gonna be stable in them times because we've been soaking up this knowledge and wisdom of the scriptures, and we understand what's going on. We understand what the will of the Lord is. Call her lawyer, how about Shem Yahushai? You know. But for those of you that don't understand what's going on, you better wake the hell up, man. Those of you that are teetering the fence, you better wake the hell up because things are getting intense, man. Let me see on read a little more from this, right? Oh, it's the other one, Slocky. Yeah, oh yeah. So it says here, this is 1,400 stores closed across America, right? Let's get the list, right? It says see the full list. 545 Foot Lockers, 416 Bed Bath & Beyond, 265 Tuesday Morning stores, Bath & Body Works, 50 stores, and that store is popular. Bath & Body Works be popping. Those of you that know about Bath & Body Works, it's always popping. Women love Bed Bath & Beyond and Bath & Body Works. Gap and Banana Republic is more of an Edomite type store. Walmart, 22 locations. Mentions Walmart again. Okay, Party City, 22 stores. Best Buy, 20 stores. Amazon, at least 8 stores. Big Lots, 7 stores. The Real, 6 stores. Macy's, 4 stores. Now Macy's is a lot of celebrities going Macy's. Target, 4 stores. They've been losing stores for a long time. J.C. Penney on the list again. So as you can see, right? This is the real deal. Okay, yeah, real deal, man. This is the real deal. So a batch of Walmart closing with a batch of other stores closing. Again, when the grinders are become few, you're gonna know the squeeze is on. All right. So with that, Lord willing, you've been edified. I'm gonna end it right there. Until next video, shalom to you, Akim, and stay strong in the spirit and keep laboring. Shalom until the next video. Shalom.